It is necessary for you to learn that on my way to catch the 8:35 that morning, it is always the 8:35, there came to me no premonition of change. No portent was in the sky but the grey rack. I saw the hale and dominant gentleman, as usual, who arrives at the station in a brougham drawn by 2 grey horses. He looked as proud and arrogant as ever, for his face is as a bull's. He had the usual bunch of scarlet geraniums in his coat, and the station-master assisted him into an apartment, and his footman handed him a rug. A routine as stable as the hills, this. If only the solemn footman would, one morning, as solemnly as ever, hurl that rug at his master, with the umbrella to crash after it. One could begin to hope, then. There was the pale girl in black who never, between our suburb and the city, lifts her shy brown eyes, benedictory as they are at such a time, from the soiled book of the local public library, and whose umbrella has lost half its handle, a china knob. I think I'll write this book for her. And there were all the others who catch that train, except the young fellow with the cough. Now and then he does miss it, using for the purpose, I have no doubt, that only form of rebellion against its accursed tyranny, which we have yet learned, physical inability to catch it. Where that morning train starts from is a mystery, but it never fails to come for us, and it never takes us beyond the city, I well know. I have a clear memory of the newspapers as they were that morning. I had a sheaf of them, for it is my melancholy business to know what each is saying. I learned there were dark and portentous matters, not actually with us, but looming, each already rather larger than a man's hand. If certain things happened, said one half of the papers, ruin stared us in the face. If those things did not happen, said the other half, ruin stared us in the face. No way appeared out of it. You paid your halfpenny and were damned either way. If you paid a penny, you got more for your money. Boding gloom, full-orbed, could be had for that. There was your extra value for you. I looked round at my fellow passengers, all reading the same papers, and all, it could be reasonably presumed, with foreknowledge of catastrophe. They were indifferent, every one of them. I suppose we have learned with some bitterness that nothing ever happens but private failure and tragedy, unregarded by our fellows except with pity. The blare of the political megaphones and the sustained panic of the party tom-toms have a message for us, we may suppose. We may be sure the noise means something. So does the butcher's boy when the sheep want to go up a side turning. He makes a noise. He means something with his warning cries. The driving uproar has a purpose. But we have found out, not they who would break up side turnings, but the people in the second-class carriages of the morning train, that now, though our first instinct is to start in a panic, when we hear another sudden warning shout, there is no need to do so. And perhaps, having attained to that more callous mind, which allows us to stare dully from the carriage window, though with that urgent din in our ears, a reasonable explanation of the increasing excitement and flushed anxiety of the great statesmen and their frugal men may occur to us in a generation or two. Give us time. But how they wish they were out of it, they who need no more time, but understand. I put down the papers with their calls to social righteousness pitched in the upper register of the tea tray, their bright and instructive interviews with flat earthers, and with the veteran who is topically interesting because, having served one master 50 years and reared 13 children on 15 shillings a week, he has just begun to draw his old-age pension. There's industry, thrift, and success, my little dears. One paper had a column account of the youngest child actress in London, her toys and her philosophy, initialed by one of our younger, brilliant journalists. All had a society divorce case, with sanitary elisions. Another contained an amusing account of a man working his way round the world with a barrel on his head. Again, the young prince.